Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Courtney. If you don't know me already, I'm sorry for the background. I don't know what's going on down there. So today we are checking out Kyle Carpenter. He received the CMOH. I know it's a Medal of Honor, but I don't know what the C stands for. But we are looking at the interview he had with David Letterman. This was recommended to me, so I assume this interview will kind of go through questions and stuff like that of what happened, but let's get into the video. I honestly don't know what to expect, but hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let's connect my headphones and let's get started.
Our first guest is the only the second living Marine since Vietnam to receive the Medal of Honor, our nation's highest award for valor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Corporal Kyle Carpenter.
I don't know what he did.
How are you doing physically? You okay? You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing great. In the gym every day. I'm a student at University of South Carolina.
What are you studying?
Going into my sophomore year, and I think I'm going to declare psychology. With everything I've been through, and I took a class this past year, which is my freshman year. I really enjoyed it. It really interests me. So.
Good. And were you in class, in school, there when you received the call? Who calls you to announce that you are the new recipient?
Well, about a week ahead of time, I got the exact day and time that the president would call me. So I got out of class, I drove home about 30 minutes. My parents checked my brothers out of school. And we were all there in the living room to share that important, special moment in my life. And we hung up, and I went back to class.
Drove back to class.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry I'm late, Professor. I just got a call from the president.
I'm not saying it was easy to focus. But,
yes.
What a down-to-earth guy.
Because I don't know how this works, tell me, did you know ahead of time, other than the call, arranging the call, that this was a likelihood for you?
Well, there definitely has to be some cause for preparation purposes, and they did. They started coming a few months before, started out not so official, just checking on me, seeing how things were going, where I was at in life, and then they kind of progressed to that point.
Yeah, and since you've received the award, what has been the reaction from your friends in college, your family, and their friends, and so forth?
I mean, not just since I received the award, since the moment I was injured, the love and support, appreciation, and just the positive backing that I've had, I just can't say enough about. And really that just carried over since getting the award, but my community and my school and the students, and just really since being injured, the letters that poured in from all over the nation, it's been really incredible. Had spent 4 months at the patrol base that entire time at the same spot. And we had got a mission to push south where there was no Marines, and it was a strong, I guess, an enemy stronghold. We got a mission to push down. We knew it was going to be a bad fight. We knew we were probably going to take casualties, but it was necessary to push that Marine presence out further. Furthermore, helping the local populations and trying to rid that territory of the enemy.
Now, when you get that order, what does that do to you inside? Are you
Good
ready
question.
to go? Are you thinking, oh, damn, we got to go do this? Or is it all training? Is it adrenaline? What happens when you realize, okay, we're moving, we have an objective, and we're going to go after it?
We know it's what we were over there for. It's what we signed up for. You're right, it had become a part of daily life. Our squad drew the short straw, so we headed down there, and shortly after moving in, the first grenade attack came.
Yeah. Tell us where you were when you were injured and the circumstances about that.
Myself, a fellow Marine, best friend, we were on top of a roof, and we were we were on post, which is I guess in civilian terms, like a lookout position to protect the Marines inside the mud compound, because really there's no roofs over there. So we were on top of the little tiny roof that they used to sleep in, and the grenade attack came. I don't remember any of the moments leading up to it.
Help me out here. In the movies, we see grenades being thrown. Were these being thrown, or were they being launched?
They were being thrown right into the compound by enemy fighters.
So the enemy is fairly close.
Very much.
Yeah. And how many Marines are then you looking out for the welfare?
I would say we only went down there with about 12.
12. Okay. Go ahead.
And so the only thing I remember for that entire day is the sound of small arms fire, AK-47, their primary choice of weapon, that morning, which is kind of like our alarm clock on a regular basis. And then the only thing I remember after that is physically how my body felt after I was hit by the grenade.
Now, you're hit when you're up on the roof. You're in that position with two other Marines?
Just one.
Just one other Marine. Okay, so you know something has happened to your body, and your perception is obviously very strange at that moment.
It was. I was confused because the last thing I remembered, I was on top of a roof, and I didn't know if I had been patrolling and stepped on IED, and that's just the last thing I could remember. When I got hit, my vision was almost like if a TV didn't have cable and it was just white and gray static. My ears were ringing very loud. I couldn't hear anything because my ruptured eardrums. The next thing I felt was warm water. Felt like warm water was being poured all over me from the blood loss.
Oh, wow.
You're 22 years old when this happened.
Oh, my
21.
goodness.
Yes, sir.
And the reason you suffered
Can you imagine?
these massive injuries is because, what did you do? You put yourself between your buddy and the grenade? You fell on the grenade? What was the actual action on your part?
From eyewitness accounts and forensic evidence and a post-blast analysis, I shielded and covered the grenade for my fellow Marine.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He was prepared to die. He knew that he would die if he did that.
This is nearly a textbook case of combat. Is this because of Kyle Carpenter, or is this because of Kyle Carpenter, the Marine?
Well, you know, from the second we step on the yellow footprints at boot camp, it's instilled to us that there's a bigger purpose, that the uniform we wear has a rich history and legacy of Marines that have been heroic before us to take care of our junior Marines, and that when we get in those bad parts of the world that nobody wants to go to, the Marines to our right and left is all we have. So I would like to say it was me. I would like to think it was a little bit me, but absolutely the Marine Corps and our history and just everything we stand for makes us want to be courageous and do those things.
Well, God bless you.
That's amazing.
I'm going to now, if it's all right with you, I'm going to run down the list of injuries you incurred. Is that okay?
Yes,
You're
sir.
comfortable with that?
Yes, sir. I mean, I'm not hiding from anybody.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Countless shattered bones throughout the body. Countless, more than a dozen, something like that?
30 in this arm.
30 in one arm.
I'm an overachiever.
Where's his soul?
Shrapnel in both legs. Shrapnel in both legs. Carotid artery in neck punctured. Punctured,
oh my
ladies and gentlemen.
goodness.
Both eardrums ruptured. Lost most of his teeth. Arm broken in more than 30 places. Collapsed right lung. Lost most of your jaw. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Lost most of your jaw.
Well, the almost 3 years I spent in the hospital, much of that time and most of my around 40 surgeries was facial. Pretty much everything from the eyes down is plates and reconstructive surgeries and fun stuff like that.
You look wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
does. He does.
And that's, I would like to take this opportunity to absolutely credit Walter Reed and the military medicine and the staff there who just do a phenomenal job.
For real. Amazing.
Lost the vision in his right eye. There was brain surgery to remove shrapnel, and he had a fractured skull. And now, like this other stuff is not enough, you flatlined 3 times. In fact, at the scene, they thought you were dead, didn't they?
Yes, sir. Well, when I arrived at Camp Bastion, which was the first combat trauma hospital out of 4 that I went through, I was labeled PEA, which I guess is politically correct way. It stands for patient expired on arrival. But I was not alive.
What was your first moment of cognition after this trauma? How long after the trauma, and what was it?
About 5 weeks later, I woke up, and the first thing I saw was my mom had decorated my room to fit the Christmas holiday, and I saw a stocking for every single one of my family members hung on my hospital wall in front of my bed.
Well, I don't know what to say. I wish you nothing but the best in life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your sacrifice. And as a parent, I hope to God my son does not ever have to go through what you have gone through, but in some way, I hope he is able to manifest the same courage.
Thank you so much.
It's a great honor to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Corporal Kyle Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Your Medal of Honor recipient.
Oh, that went fast, that video. Oh my goodness. What an amazing man. Can you imagine? 21 years old. I'm not sure where this was, where this happened. I'm so glad that they found out what happened, you know? And because since he doesn't remember what happened, I'm really glad that he's able to get the recognition he deserves for doing such a selfless thing. Like, can you imagine? Like, that would have just been something that was just an instant thought to him. He probably saw the grenade and it was just, he probably didn't give it a second thought, you know, and doing that, he knew he would die. He knew he would die. That's, oh my God, I can't even imagine that. You're 21 years old and you're jumping on a grenade to save the people around you. Or the person, I think it was it one Marine around him? He did that to save the Marine that was next to him. He knew he was gonna die. He knew he would die when he did that. But by the grace of God, he came out alive. Isn't that crazy? It's amazing. He only got so many injuries. And he looks so handsome. Those doctors really did a great job. 21 years old. Damn, that just hit me in the feels, guys. 21 years old when... I don't want to try and make anyone feel bad, but isn't it, I just want to put something into perspective for us right now. 21 years old, most 21-year-olds in the Western world, well, a lot of 21-year-olds in the Western world are chilling with their friends, going out to bars, going out to clubs, not really any worries at all. Can you imagine 21 years old, you're the exact same age, being over in a foreign country fighting in a war with AK-47s and having to make that choice? Isn't that crazy? It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? 21 years old. It's so young, and he was prepared to give his life for his friend. Oh, I'm so glad that they could find out what happened through that forensic evidence. Seriously. But the thing is, like, he seems like the kind of guy that wouldn't care about the recognition, you know, as long as his friend is alive, you know what I mean? He seems like the kind of guy, he seems very humble and would only care about his fellow Marines living. You know, he wouldn't really care about that recognition, but it's it's a great thing that he's been recognized for that, you know. But oh, thank you so much for this recommendation today, guys. Kyle Carpenter, you're amazing. You're a hero. I can't fathom that bravery, honestly. I really can't. I really can't. I can't imagine that decision. I can't imagine that situation. I simply can't. But it's amazing. So thank you so much everyone for watching today's video. If you have any recommendations, do check out my website and make a recommendation on there, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.